Please make yourself at home. Our office is your office. We have wonderful staff down here, Kat and Ryan. It's actually Kat's birthday, so everybody say happy birthday, Kat! It is my absolute honor and pleasure to introduce Dave Derby, the founder of the Every Tuesday Vigil. They are in the north part of the district, but they came down here to help us welcome ourselves into our new office. They were also my Fresno host family for months, so it's always nice to have my Fresno parents in the house. So without further ado, Dave Derby.
Hey Visalia, it was so nice to see you guys and meet you. Thank you for hosting this, bringing all kinds of people together. It connects us and it gives us hope too about what is going on here. You know, it was about a year ago, actually April 18th, when many of us down in the Clovis, Fresno area went to the Democratic Committee members meeting. It was downtown, county office. There was a speaker's candidate night. We didn't know what we were doing. Now, we had been on the street at Clovis and 3rd for about 2 months, out at the Vigil every Tuesday, like you guys are doing here. We just didn't know what we were going to do with it. We know we didn't want Trump. Soon we knew we didn't want Nunes. Then people said, well, what are you going to do? I said, I have no idea what we're going to do. Then that night we went to listen to the candidates. There were 8 of them. One dropped out that night. But before we listened to the candidates, I don't remember her name, one of the gals that worked down there. She'd done a little survey of what do you see in a great candidate for our valley, for CD22. And so she had that big form out there they had done a survey on. Someone who's bright, man or woman, who's bright, intelligent, knows who they are, has been in the valley here, and has lived here a long time, knows a lot of people. Someone in this day and age we're waiting for who has high moral character. Yay. We cannot afford to make any more mistakes in that area, and what we're giving to our kids. So that was on the list. Good looking, has a wife or family, speaks well in public, can hold his own, has been connected some way in service, or has the intentionality of wanting to be in service. Not just come along and say, I think I'll try to do this thing. We've been thinking about it for a while. And so those things were up before us, before the meeting. Went through speaker 1, 2, we're kind of scoring them. 3, scoring 4, 5, 6. We get to this candidate I'm going to introduce in a moment. We didn't even take any notes. We just said, oh, okay. Nancy, you were there, a few of the other people here. We just looked at each other and went, thank God. And it wasn't just somebody we were going to take because we didn't have anybody else. This was the person we knew who was going to be the next congressman for CD22. Heather is right, Heather.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you all for being here this evening. Man, this is insane. This is insane, really. I'm not saying this lightly. We are the #1 race in the country right now. You know, this all started back in April of last year, and it happened on the heels of my opponent going to the White House, allegedly mishandling classified information, him being under an ethics investigation for the better part of last year. And so I wanted to know who was going to challenge Devin Nunes. I was going to support whatever person that was. And so as Dave had indicated, I went down to the Central Committee up in Fresno to figure out if there was any candidate that was willing to take him on that could do it. And I just saw this hunger, and I saw this need in our community for somebody to step up. And I can tell you as a person, this is my home. Visalia is my home. It is so good to be here tonight, be back in. So I went to Viva Blunt. I went to La Jolla. I saw one of my old teachers back there from La Jolla, Mr. Harold. Redwood High School, class of 2002. I cruised Mooney as a high school senior. It's so good to be back. For those of you who don't know where I come from a very simple working class home. My parents were both immigrants. And they taught me at a very young age the importance of hard work. And my parents were never very well off. My mom worked minimum wage jobs. My dad worked in food processing plants all up and down the Central Valley. And this is where I come from. And I, in high school, actually worked at the McDonald's on Demery and Mineral King over there. So I like to say that I went from serving burgers at McDonald's to now serving justice as a prosecutor. So this is where I come from as a person, and these are the folks that I want to represent. My opponent takes millions of dollars from special interest groups and corporations, some of the richest corporations on the planet. I'm talking about companies like Verizon and Chevron and Wells Fargo, and we see it in his votes. Every single time he votes on something, we see it in his votes, and he's voted for tax breaks for these companies, tax breaks for millionaires and billionaires, and I don't want to be owned by these people. I want to be owned by you, the constituents. And if you've been reading the paper, you know how much money that we've raised in a very short period of time. No candidate, no campaign in the Central Valley has ever seen this before. We've raised $1.3 million in a very short period of time. This speaks to our message, this speaks to our viability, and this speaks to who owns this campaign, and it's all of you here in this room today. Our average contribution is $40. Can you believe that? $40. Devin Nunes didn't have a single contribution under $250 last year, and that's saying something. And so I think it's time for a change. Do you all agree? I want to introduce my wife very briefly. She is my biggest cheerleader in life. She's an amazing woman. Heather Walker-Janz, everybody. Heather is a marriage and family therapist. She has her own practice. She's also involved in the community. She is the president of the Central Valley chapter of Marriage and Family Therapists. So she does a lot of work working with politicians, lobbying for expansion of mental health coverage in federal and state programs. And we know that mental health in this day and age is so important. If you take care of your mind, you're also taking care of your body. So she's pushing me on the mental health issue every single day. So thank you so much, Heather, for supporting me on this crazy journey. You are the best. I love you so much. So let me say this, folks. For 15 years, we've had Devin Nunes. And he was asked by the Fresno Bee a couple weeks back, what have you done for the Central Valley? What is your #1 accomplishment? Does anybody remember what his response was?
Water.
He brought attention to the water issue as if we needed Devin Nunes to tell us that California has a water problem. He's been talking about getting the Central Valley water security for years. He's done nothing on it. And so last year we had an amazing year with respect to rainwater. We shipped billions of gallons of water out to the ocean, and not for any environmental purpose, only because we couldn't store the water here, only because we couldn't divert that water to our groundwater aquifers that are being decimated on a daily basis. So we need someone to go to Washington and actually tackle some of these issues. And I've had the privilege and opportunity to meet with several farmers and growers here in the Central Valley. And I think they're willing to give us a shot. Traditionally, for some reason, Democrats have somehow been viewed as anti-water. And I can tell you that couldn't be further from the truth. We love water. We drink it, right? We drink it every day. So that's crazy, right? So Devin's created this narrative that somehow Democrats don't care about farmers, they don't care about our community. And it's time for a change. It's time to educate the voters. Let's go back to our Democratic roots. Go back to FDR. How did we get out of the Great Depression? It was by building great projects, by building dams, bridges, tunnels. We can do that here in the Central Valley. There is no better way to stimulate local economic growth than to invest in our community. So let's go back to those roots. Let's give a message to the folks that live here in the Central Valley that we deserve better, that we can re-energize our local economy, that we can move the Central Valley forward, because for far too long we've been left behind by the state and by the rest of the nation. So now, for the first time in years, the rest of the country is paying attention, and we have to take advantage of it. So So I'm working every day in the district to make sure that we create this grassroots campaign, a ground game that can take this fight directly to Nunez. And I just want to thank a few people here in the room that have been very instrumental helping get the campaign going from day one. Heather Grevin, my amazing campaign manager. I want to say thank you to Kate Worth, who's been busting her butt every single day. Getting the campaign going. I want to give a special shout out to Dave and Bev Derby, who have been with me from day one. Thank you so much. There are dozens of other people in this room here tonight that have been supportive over the last, I don't know, how long have we been in this race?
1 year.
1 year almost. And so I can't do this race on my own. I need your help. I need your help to do phone banking. I need your help to go door to door, to knock on every single door in the district to tell people that Nunez's time is over and that we can do this. Thank you so much for being here tonight, everyone. I'm asking each and every one of you to come out, pay attention, be part of the process, because the only way that we can affect change is if we stay united, stay together, and work hard towards a common purpose, which is to provide a better future for the Central Valley. I ask each and every single one of you for your vote and your support here tonight. Thank you so much for being here. I want to invite a couple people forward. Kat, can you please come forward, please?
Sorry.
You're not in trouble. Heather, who else am I supposed to? Oh, Lolly Mojino, will you please come forward? Okay, we got a couple of presents for the both of you.
Thank you.
You guys,
For our host.
you ladies are amazing. I love you.
You know, for our birthday girl and our organizer. Thank you. Happy birthday.
You all are my family. Thank you so much.
We have lots of wine. We have some food. You guys should spread out. If you haven't hit the game room, if you have not hit the phone.